الله النور بسم الله النور بسم الله النور بسم الله النور بسم الله نور النور بسم الله النور.
Welcome to our deep dive today. We're going to be exploring this idea of the cure for hesitation, finding certainty in the teachings of the Prophet's family. And we've got some really fascinating sources to delve into.
Yes, we do.
We have excerpts from Tuhaf Al-Uqul and even a document of instructions from Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam himself.
It's going to be fascinating.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to see what we uncover.
I think this is going to be a really special deep dive.
Yeah.
You know, these sources really go to the core of Shia thought, and they offer some really profound insights into faith and knowledge, conduct, and even societal structures.
And for me, what I'm really intrigued by is this whole idea of finding certainty. It's something we all grapple with. You know, the world can feel so uncertain at times.
Absolutely.
And it's easy to get caught up in doubt and hesitation.
And I think that's where the teachings of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his family, alayhim assalam, offer a real beacon of light.
Yeah.
They give us a framework for understanding our place in the world and navigating its complexities with wisdom and clarity.
Absolutely. So let's start with the foundations then.
Yeah.
Faith and knowledge.
Okay.
So Tuhaf Al-Uqul, compiled by Ibn Shuba al-Harani, this is a collection of wisdom sayings and letters attributed to Imam Ali, alayhi salatu wasalam. It's really considered a cornerstone of Shia thought.
Yes.
And right at the beginning, Imam Ali, alayhi salatu wasalam, defines the core Islamic declaration.
Right.
There is no God but Allah, and Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, is his messenger. But he doesn't stop there.
What's so fascinating is how Imam Ali, alayhi salatu wasalam, goes beyond just the surface level
Yeah.
and unveils these deeper layers of meaning within that declaration.
Right.
He explains that the origin of Islam is sincerity, its pillar is prayer, and its peak is striving in the way of Allah.
Right.
He's highlighting that true faith isn't just about reciting words, it's about a lived experience,
Yeah.
rooted in sincerity, devotion, and action.
Yeah, and that makes me think about the emphasis that he also puts on seeking knowledge and putting it into practice.
Right.
He says the deeds of those who do not enjoy piety, knowledge, and intellect are nil.
Yes.
It's like he's saying that knowledge without action is incomplete.
Precisely. It's about bridging that gap between knowing and doing.
Mm-hmm.
We can have all the knowledge in the world,
Right.
but if we don't apply it, it's like having a map but never setting out on the journey.
Absolutely. So where do the Imams, alayhum assalam, fit into this picture then?
Well, Imam Ali, alayhi salatu wasalam, describes the Imams, alayhum assalam, as the firmest handle
Okay.
and the ship of salvation. And this resonates with the Quranic verse 4.59,
Right.
which talks about obedience to those in authority. The Imams, alayhum assalam, as divinely appointed guides, they protect and illuminate the path of faith,
Right.
helping us navigate the complexities of life.
That's a beautiful analogy, the ship of salvation, but
Yeah.
finding those reliable sources of knowledge,
Yeah.
that's crucial, right?
Right. Absolutely. Imam Ali, alayhi salatu wasalam, warns against negligence in seeking knowledge,
Right.
and he stresses the importance of acknowledging our imperfections.
Yeah.
He says, whoever claims to know everything is a liar, and whoever denies his need for seeking knowledge will perish.
It's such a good reminder to approach knowledge with humility and with a willingness to learn from those who are more knowledgeable than us.
And speaking of learning, Imam Ali, alayhi salatu wasalam, outlines some of the characteristics of truly intelligent individuals.
Oh, okay.
In Tuhaf Al-Uqul, he says, the intelligent man overlooks the ignorant, pardons wrongdoers, behaves modestly with those of lower rank, and competes with those of higher rank in seeking charity.
Wow.
It's this beautiful portrayal of how true intelligence manifests not just in intellect,
Yeah.
but in character and actions.
That's powerful. Think about how that applies to us.
Yeah.
Are we using our knowledge to uplift others? Or are we falling into those traps of backbiting negativity, which he also cautions against?
Those are very much rooted in ego and insecurity, whereas true intelligence is seeking to elevate and connect, building those bridges of understanding and empathy.
It's a reminder to really check ourselves and make sure our actions are aligning with the knowledge that we've been given.
Yes.
So we've touched on faith, knowledge, the importance of the Imams, alayhim assalam, as guides. Now, I'm curious about how all of this translates into practical guidance for living in the world.
Yeah.
Let's delve into that next, shall we?
Let's do it. And that's where Imam Ali's, alayhi salatu wasalam, document of instructions to Malik al-Ashtar comes in.
Oh, yeah?
This document is like a treasure trove of wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
It focuses mainly on governance and leadership, but it also has these profound insights that we can apply to our own lives.
I've heard about this document, but I haven't really had a chance to delve into it. What's so special about it?
Well, it really reveals the depth of Imam Ali's alayhi salatu wasalam understanding of human nature and societal dynamics.
Yeah.
You know, he really emphasizes justice, fairness, and this interconnectedness of all societal classes.
Right.
He even gives detailed guidance on selecting officials.
Wow.
And making sure that cultivators are treated fairly. It's really clear that a thriving society requires this foundation of ethical leadership and genuine concern for the well-being of all of its members.
Okay, so let's say I'm Malik al-Ashtar.
Okay.
And I'm receiving this letter from Imam Ali, alayhi salatu wasalam.
Yeah.
What stands out as most important for leading a just society?
Well, he says, and I quote, "Infuse your heart with mercy, love for your subjects, and kindness towards them. Do not stand over them like a greedy beast who feels it is enough to devour them, for they are of two kinds, either your brethren in faith or your equals in creation."
Wow.
It's this powerful reminder that leadership is not about power or control, but about service, compassion, and recognizing the inherent dignity of every human being.
And that resonates with what we were talking about earlier about true intelligence manifesting in characters and actions.
And Imam Ali, alayhi salatu wasalam, goes on to say, "Avoid haste in taking decisions when you are not clear about the matter, and be firm when the truth is clear to you. Consult with men of wisdom and experience when you face difficult problems." So these principles of deliberation, patience, seeking counsel, they can apply to any leadership role, really.
Right.
Whether you're leading a team at work, managing a household, or making decisions that impact your community.
I'm struck by the practicality of his advice.
Yes.
It's not about these grand pronouncements. It's about cultivating these specific qualities and habits that lead to wise and just actions.
And he doesn't shy away from addressing the temptations that come with power and authority either. He warns against arrogance and self-importance. Writing, control your sense of prestige and power, because if you let it control you, you will soon begin to look down upon the people and think you are better than they are.
Wow.
So crucial for anyone in a position of authority, because it's so easy to let power inflate the ego and create this disconnect from those we are meant to serve.
You mentioned earlier that this document also has applications beyond leadership in the traditional sense.
Absolutely.
Can you elaborate on that?
Sure. Think about how these principles apply to your own life.
Okay.
Are you quick to judge and act impulsively?
Mm-hmm.
Or do you take time to reflect and consider different perspectives?
Right.
Do you approach challenges with a sense of humility and a willingness to learn from others?
Yeah.
Are you letting your ego drive your decisions? Or are you striving to act with compassion and understanding?
Those are some powerful questions to ponder.
They are.
It seems like the cure for hesitation might lie in cultivating these qualities of deliberation, compassion, and humility, as they help us make decisions that are aligned with our values and a deeper sense of purpose.
They create this foundation of inner certainty, which allows us to act with confidence and clarity, even amidst all the uncertainties of life.
So we've explored this practical guidance on leadership and decision-making. Now, I'd love to dive into some of the more profound reflections.
Okay.
And sermons from the Imams, alayhum salam.
Yes.
They seem to offer this deeper understanding of faith, the human condition, and our relationship with the divine.
Let's start with Imam Ali's alayhi salatu wasalam, Sermon of Dibaj. In this sermon, he touches on a wide range of themes, including the importance of avoiding defamation, envy, and showing mercy to others.
It sounds like a call to cultivate a more compassionate and understanding way of being in the world.
He says, "Beware of backbiting, for it is the food of the dogs of hellfire. Be merciful to the orphans and the weak, for they are the beloved of Allah."
Wow.
This sermon really challenges us to examine our intentions and our actions, to consider how we treat others, and to cultivate those qualities of kindness, empathy, forgiveness.
Essential qualities for anyone seeking to live a life of meaning and purpose.
Absolutely. And his sermon of faith is equally profound.
Okay. In this sermon, Imam Ali, alayhi salatu wasalam, really dissects the different aspects of faith, contrasting it with hypocrisy and its foundations.
I'm curious about that contrast between faith and hypocrisy. What does he have to say about it?
He explains faith has 4 pillars: trust in Allah, belief in His messenger, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, submission to His will, and following the teachings of His Ahlul-Bayt, alayhi wasallam. Hypocrisy, on the other hand, has 4 pillars: denial of Allah, disbelief in His messenger, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, disobedience to His will, and opposition to the teachings of His Ahlul-Bayt, alayhi wasallam. He's highlighting the importance of aligning our beliefs with our actions, making sure that our outward expressions of faith are rooted in genuine sincerity and a deep understanding of its principles.
This reminds me of what we were discussing earlier about how knowledge without action is incomplete.
Exactly.
It seems like Imam Ali, alayhi salatu wasalam, is emphasizing the importance of living our faith.
Yes.
Not just talking about it. It's about embodying the principles of our faith in our daily lives.
Right.
In the way we interact with others, in the choices that we make, and in the way that we navigate the challenges and opportunities that come our way.
So we're seeing this recurring theme here.
Yes.
This interconnectedness of faith, knowledge, and action.
Absolutely.
It's not enough to simply have faith or acquire knowledge.
Right.
We must actively strive to live in alignment with our beliefs.
Yes.
To let our actions be a reflection of our inner convictions.
That's a powerful insight. And it's a journey that requires constant reflection and self-awareness. Are we living in a way that honors our faith?
Right.
Are our actions consistent with our beliefs? These are questions that we have to continuously ask ourselves.
And that brings us back to this idea of finding certainty. It's not a static state, but a dynamic process of aligning our inner and outer worlds.
Exactly.
Our beliefs and our actions, our knowledge and our conduct.
Beautifully said. And it's a process that leads to a profound sense of inner peace and purpose, even amidst all the uncertainties of life.
I'm already starting to see how these teachings can help us navigate the complexities of life with greater clarity and conviction. But there's still so much more to uncover.
There is.
I'm eager to explore the insights of other imams, alayhum assalam, as we continue our deep dive. It feels like we've just scratched the surface of these profound teachings.
There's so much richness and depth to explore. Where would you like to go next?
Well, earlier we talked about free will and decision-making.
Right.
And I remember that Imam as-Sadiq, alayhi salatu wasalam, had a very unique perspective on this.
Right.
Something about an in-between position.
Yes. Imam as-Sadiq, alayhi salatu wasalam, explained this concept as a middle ground between fatalism and indeterminism.
Right.
He said there is neither compulsion nor absolute free will, but rather a position between the two. Essentially what he was saying is that we have a degree of choice in our actions.
But that choice is also influenced by factors beyond our control.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
But I'm struggling to wrap my head around that a little bit. Can you explain it in a different way?
Sure. Imagine a bird flying in the sky.
Okay.
The bird has the freedom to choose which direction to fly in.
Right.
But its flight is also influenced by the wind, the weather, its own physical limitations.
Right.
Similarly, we have the capacity to make choices.
Yeah.
But those choices are shaped by things like our upbringing, our environment, even our genetics.
Okay. That analogy makes a lot of sense.
Good.
So it's not about absolutes then.
Right.
It's about navigating this interplay between our own will
Yes.
and the forces that shape our lives.
Exactly. And that understanding can be incredibly liberating because it frees us from that burden of feeling like we're solely responsible for everything that happens to us. It allows us to acknowledge the role of those external factors while also empowering us to make those conscious choices.
Within the realm of our influence.
It shifts the focus then from blame and guilt to understanding and acceptance.
Yes.
It's a reminder that we're not puppets on a string, nor are we these completely autonomous beings. We exist in this dynamic space where our choices matter, but they're also woven into this fabric of a larger tapestry.
Beautifully said. And I think that understanding can help us approach decision-making with more wisdom and less anxiety. You know, we can focus on making the best choices within our capacity while also accepting that some things are beyond our control.
This brings me back to this whole idea of finding certainty. It seems like true certainty lies not in having all the answers or controlling every outcome, but in understanding our place within this larger scheme of things.
Precisely. Certainty arises from trusting. in that divine wisdom that guides all things,
Right.
even when we don't fully understand the reasons or the outcomes.
Okay, so we've touched on faith, knowledge, action, and this concept of free will. What other insights can we glean from the teachings of the Imams, alayhum as-salam, that can help us cultivate this sense of certainty?
Let's delve into the teachings of Imam as-Sadiq alayhi salatu wasalam on the different types of people who relate traditions. He said, people who relate traditions are of 4 types: the truthful, the liar, the forgetful, and the one who does not understand.
So it's not just about what's being said.
Right.
It's also about the source of the information and their reliability.
Exactly. In a world where information is so readily available, but not always accurate, it's so crucial to develop discernment. We need to be critical about the sources of our knowledge, considering their motivations, their understanding, their track record of truthfulness.
This reminds me of Imam al-Hassan's alayhi salatu wasalam interaction with Muawiyah's disguised messenger.
Yes.
The messenger posed these very challenging questions, and Imam al-Hassan's alayhi salatu wasalam responses were just brilliant.
Yes.
They were filled with this intellectual depth and these nuanced interpretations of religious concepts.
That's a perfect example of how seeking knowledge from qualified sources is so essential. Imam al-Hassan, alayhi salatu wasalam, demonstrated not only his deep understanding of the faith, but also his ability to convey those complex ideas in a clear and insightful way.
It's a reminder that true knowledge requires not just rote memorization, but also a deep understanding of the principles and the ability to apply them to real-life situations.
And it's also a reminder that the pursuit of knowledge is a lifelong journey. Even the most learned among us have limitations, and we should always be open to learning and growing.
So we've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
From the foundations of faith and knowledge to the principles of just governance. The concept of free will, the importance of seeking knowledge from reliable sources. The teachings of the Prophet's family, alayhum as-salam, offer this comprehensive guide for navigating life's complexities and finding certainty amidst uncertainty.
It's incredible how these teachings remain so relevant and applicable.
I know.
Even in our modern world, they speak to the very core of our being, offering this timeless wisdom that transcends cultural and temporal boundaries.
I'm feeling incredibly inspired. This deep dive has not only deepened my understanding of Shia thought, but it's also ignited this desire to keep learning and exploring these teachings.
I'm so glad to hear that. And remember, the journey of seeking knowledge and finding certainty is a continuous process.
It is.
It's a path of growth, reflection, and self-discovery.
I'm reminded of Imam Ali's alayhi salatu wasalam words. The seeking of knowledge is obligatory upon every Muslim.
Powerful.
Is a call to action.
It is.
An invitation to embark on this lifelong pursuit of understanding and meaning.
And as we conclude this deep dive, I wanted to leave you with a thought that subtly permeates all the teachings that we've explored. And it's this concept of spiritual blindness.
Oh, that's intriguing. Tell me more.
Well, you see, the Imams, alayhum as-salam, emphasize that true understanding comes not from our physical eyes, but from the state of our hearts. Spiritual blindness is the state of being where we might have all the knowledge in the world, but lack the wisdom to apply it, the compassion to connect with others, and the humility to acknowledge our own limitations.
That's a powerful concept.
It is.
It's a reminder that true knowledge isn't just about accumulating information, but about cultivating a heart that's open to understanding. A mind that is clear and discerning, and a spirit that's grounded in humility and compassion.
Exactly. It's about going beyond that surface level, beyond just the accumulation of facts and figures, and allowing these teachings to penetrate our hearts and transform the way that we live in the world. It's about seeking not just knowledge, but wisdom, not just understanding, but embodiment.
What a profound takeaway.
It is.
It seems like the cure for hesitation lies not only in seeking knowledge from those reliable sources, but also in cultivating these inner qualities of wisdom, compassion, and humility that allow that knowledge to truly illuminate our path. And guide us towards a life of meaning, purpose, and certainty.
Beautifully put. And I remember this is a journey that we can all embark on. regardless of where we are on our path.
Yeah.
It starts with the willingness to learn,
Right.
to open our hearts and minds,
Mm-hmm.
and to trust in that divine wisdom that
Yeah.
guides all things.
Thank you so much for guiding us through this deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
It's been an incredible journey of discovery, reflection, and inspiration. And to all our listeners out there,
Yes.
may this episode be a catalyst for your own journey.
Absolutely. Of seeking knowledge, finding certainty, and living a life that reflects the beauty and wisdom of the Prophet's family. Alayhim assalam.